Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phenomenal Wrestling Podcast. I have finally returned from a head injury that I suffered about a month ago.
I don't know what happened there. He just disappeared for a while, and
I do. Because you see, I woke up today, and I was like, how the hell is it June? Last thing I remember, I was recording a video. Is it on YouTube? Let me look.
see what had happened was.
Listen, you Lars Sullivan-looking bastard.
Hey, listen.
Please justify this. Please do.
You asked how you were going to be broken, so I assisted.
Just know, I'm gonna get you.
I assisted.
And it's gonna be way worse than a frying pan to the dome.
Right.
I'm not gonna hit you in the dick. I'm not Shinsuke.
Okay, good.
I'm AJ. Ah!
You're going to kick me in the dick.
Facts. But we did just have Money in the Bank weekend, and it was a rather interesting weekend of wrestling. Let's start right at the beginning with NXT Takeover Chicago 2. NXT Takeover opened with a tag title match, the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong being accompanied by Adam Cole, taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Perfect way to open Takeover.
It really was. I actually was very impressed. I was more impressed now with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. That was such a great match and a great way to kick off the show.
You already weren't sold on them?
I was sold on them, just they built more of a case for themselves.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to note that they were getting booed.
Yeah.
At the start, because Chicago, it's Chicago. They're like Undisputed Era or nothing.
Facts.
But at the end, they got the standing ovation that they so rightfully deserved.
Oh, they really did. It was so good.
It was a hard-hitting match, great way to open show. The one thing that made me cringe in that match, when Oney Lorcan went to the top rope and he got thrown off onto the apron.
Yeah.
And the way he just bounced off the apron, I was like, oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. That hurt so much. That hurt me. Great match. Great way to open. And then we led to what I thought was going to steal the night. Ricochet and the Velveteen Dream.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Velveteen Hogan.
Truth.
Velva Hulk. Hulkatine Dream.
Hey. HULKDREAM, man.
Leave the songs to me.
Soiled it.
Amazing match. Amazing. The way that they built to it, the storytelling in this match, the way they just crafted it all. Wonderful. And Ricochet finally got to show his offense a lot more. Also, he's damn good at selling.
Oh, he really is. But so is Velveteen. And Velveteen we got to see a lot more offense out of him also, and it was like, wow. And especially with so Nell and I were talking about this because Nell's not joining us today. We forgot to mention that, nor is Shell, and so it's just Zel and I today.
Yeah, we didn't introduce ourselves. We started with me being a little bit pissed off.
Fa-fa.
As you were saying,
I kind of wanted to see him hit that 630. 650?
Velveteen is not hitting a 630.
Yeah.
I thought he would try and break his neck.
Yeah. He's too tall and lanky for it. I don't think he can fold himself enough like that.
Shout out to my nephew.
Truth.
I noticed a thing too, because I thought about it while I was watching it. So when Velveteen fought Aleister Black, he did more striking.
Yeah.
When he fought Ricochet, he did more high flying. Now he needs to face somebody technically sound, and we need to see his technical game. And then he can have a match after that where it just blends together.
Yes, because I actually saw a link saying, after Takeover Chicago, is Velveteen ready for the main roster? No, not yet. Don't do that to him.
Give him a full another year. Wait until
the next
after
shake-up.
Mania. Yeah. But my second favorite match of the night. Almost beaten out by the next match. The women's title match, Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. The psychology in this match, to me, was possibly the best psychology all night.
Yes, but I hated the match.
Why?
I hated it. It literally pissed me off so much. Because, 1, Shayna Baszler retained. 2, Shayna Baszler retained. And 3, it was boring. Aside from the psychology factor of it, Nikki Cross kind of dominated the whole match. And messed with Shayna's head, and then Shayna got her in a chokehold. And I did love the ending, though. With Nikki Cross refused to tap or just go to sleep. She laughed herself to sleep.
I think that was literally the entire build to the match, because even going into it, and NXT, Nikki Cross was just saying, do it. Like, put this chokehold on me. Do it. Do it. Do it. She even turned her back to Shayna at the start of the match. And that was what the whole match was built around. Shayna trying to figure out Nikki Cross, which gives Nikki Cross the reason to dominate most of the match, because Nikki Cross is batshit crazy.
She is.
Batshit crazy.
And that's why I'm like, she should have... If they were going to do that, she wanted to be put in that chokehold. So they should have had her find a way to get out of that chokehold.
That's another thing they built to. They're building to. She wanted to get into the chokehold. She finally got into the chokehold, but she couldn't get out. Putting that chokehold over more, because nobody's gotten out of that yet.
No one's gotten out of it, but she has been pinned while doing it.
Yeah. But nobody's got out of it. That's the story that's still there.
If it's still there, but this is Triple H brand, not WWE, so Triple H may be like, okay, we're working this.
Yeah. They're probably going to work it. Might not say anything until Survivor Series weekend, but the more I see Shayna, the more I'm being okay with her, and
I'm trying, but I can't do it. I'm not sold on Shayna.
What is it?
I'm just not sold on her whatsoever. Her in-ring ability or her mic skills. Like, I'll admit her mic skills have gotten a little better. They're a little bit more improved. They're not as bad as Ronda Rousey's mic skills. But I'm still not sold on her.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It could also be pettiness and the fact that they had Ember drop the title to her, of all people.
Well, yeah, now there's your answer. You're never going to like Shayna. I know you. You're not going to like her.
Nope.
No matter how good she may get, you're not going to like her because she beat Ember. So therefore, that's a moot point to even argue. Because I'm not going to waste my breath with you. Then came, sad to say, the most disappointing match for me. Aleister Black and Lars Sullivan for the NXT Championship. It was built good to the start of it. And the ending just... Yeah.
Very lackluster. And
It didn't help that all three Black Masses looked awful.
The last one looked good.
It still looked bad to me.
Compared to the first two.
I mean, compared to the first two, you can't really mess one up worse than the first two.
No.
It still did not look good to me. Because the first one, well, let's get into it, because there was a lot of power spots from Lars, which looked really good. Like, just catching this man out of the air and hitting him with power slams, this and that. Lars looked good.
He did.
I'm not putting the look of the end of this entirely on Lars.
No.
Aleister went for his first Black Mass and he missed entirely. He might have clipped him, but it looked like a total miss. Lars still sold it though. He kind of had to. Like, there's nothing else to do. Like, I don't think he realized in time that it missed. Because if he realized it missed, he could have sold it as Aleister just missed.
Yeah.
But there wasn't time for that. And at that point, I'm like, all right, you know what? These things happen. There's probably just miscommunication between them. And then the second one, he kind of just like hit him in the shoulder, and that was kind of it. And I was like, okay, he's tall. I get it, I guess. And then the last one, I was like, he was on his knees. Come on.
Yeah.
How did you make that one look bad?
Yeah. It was pretty bad. But I do like what they did throughout the match, though. Because they didn't make Lars look like this unbeatable creature because they gave Alistair a lot of offense, and Alistair was able to get him down multiple times, and it showed that Lars is human, and I like that's what they're doing there.
It definitely showed that Lars is human. The other thing too, it still showed that Lars can be a monster. Like there was a good balance of each. And then the last match of the night, oh boy,
which for me stole the show.
Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in a street fight. This was the best match of the night.
Thank you.
I do prefer their previous encounter.
Yes.
Not knocking this match in any way, shape, or form.
Because this match, all in all, was literally just to beat the living shit out of each other. Like, nobody even went for a pinfall.
No. Their first match, I was talking to Nell about this. Their first match was a lot more of just the in-ring action, and that's what it was about. This match was about Johnny Gargano breaking.
Yes.
And that's what it built to. They hit some very nasty spots on one another. Weapons, trash cans, chairs around Johnny Gargano's neck being thrown into the steel steps.
Yes.
It looked terrible. And just when you think it can't get any worse, Tommaso Ciampa gets out of the ring and finds wire cutters. Why are there wire cutters under the ring?
I don't know, and it seems very dangerous to have under there.
He starts cutting the ties that hold the protective mat down onto the ring. He rips it back, reveals the wood under it, and at that point you're like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, Ciampa, no, last time you did this, you got powerbombed.
Exactly, because the rule of thumb in WWE is, if you take it out, you're going through it, or you're getting hit with it.
Yep. And,
But that spot got left, and they recreated the spot that they did 1 year ago at Takeover Chicago 1, where they're at the top of the ramp, and Tommaso just holds him, and he's telling him, like, we were brothers, but you did this is your fault, and he throws him into the LED board like he did last year. There was also the callback with the crutch, because Johnny Gargano came out with a crutch that Tommaso broke over his back, and Tommaso came out with a new crutch. And if these cats keep playing with that fucking cabinet... But, so yeah, he throws him into the LED board, and he gets ready to throw him off stage like before, and he proceeds to beat his ass up in the production area. For some reason, there's 2 tables with 2 MacBooks on top of them, right in front of a really tall cable crate.
yeah, there was a lot of stacks there.
Tommaso brings Johnny up top, and at this point everybody's like, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna do this. Tommaso takes Johnny's wedding ring off, spits on it, and throws it.
Which I hope they found that ring afterwards.
I hope that wasn't the real wedding ring.
I really hope so too, but then again, you know how this goes.
And Tommaso's telling him, say goodbye to your family, say goodbye to this, say goodbye to Candace. And then Johnny puts him in the air raid crash through the tables. And that was possibly the scariest spot of the night.
Oh, it was. And Tommaso sold it perfectly.
I
thought he was hurt.
No, I really think that just hurt the shit out of him. And he was like, I'm not selling, this hurts. Ah!
Yeah, but no. For me, he was selling too because he was like, help, get me help, and was screaming for help. And, like, it sounded like he was crying. And I'm like, oh my fuck.
I think he really wanted help.
But...
he knew he couldn't get it, but he was like, no, I really want help. Like, I don't think you guys understand. I'm not going to let you know, ref, that I want you to help me, but I need help. Help. I'm dying, Squirtle.
But then help came. So, I think it was just a spot in him selling, and I'm like...
Oh, I mean, no, it was, but I'm saying, like...
oh, he was probably definitely hurt.
He was saying what he was thinking.
But,
he just knew that it worked with what was going on.
Yes. And then Gargano... as they're pulling him away,
he's sitting on top of the he was sitting on top of the crate that he just jumped off of, and he's like playing with his finger, and then he's staring at Tommaso with this look on his face that is such disgust and such like, I'm gonna fucking slit your throat. Like, it was just a look of murderous intent, and he's playing with his finger, and at one point he realizes his ring is gone. And as Tommaso's getting carted off on the stretcher, I really think it cut away a little too quick, but I think he said, fuck that. I really think he did. I think he was like, fuck that, and he got up and brought Tommaso back into the ring. Got the handcuffs that Tommaso tried to use on him earlier, and he handcuffs Tommaso, and he super kicked him 6 or 7 times? Repeatedly in the face.
Yeah.
Because Tommaso just would not fall down. He was like a crackhead.
Well, he kind of couldn't, because at that point he was handcuffed. So when he kicked him, his body would go back, but the cuffs had his hands going like this, so it's like, shit.
But even then, he could have just been like, eh. He could have just plopped it up. He could have, but, you know, gotta sell them super kicks. Puts in the Gargano escape. Tommaso's tapping, but there's no ref because Johnny knocked the ref out at the top of the ramp. All these suits are coming out, and they're trying to stop Johnny from continuing to whoop said ass. And they get Johnny out of the ring. The ref is miraculously back now. Johnny decks the suits, goes over to the side of the ring that the protective padding is peeled off. Tommaso, with his hands handcuffed behind his back when Johnny's getting in the ring, locks his head in between his arm and his ribs, DDTs him onto the wood, slithers over on top of him, and it's just like, count it, ref, just count it. And the ref's like, 1, 2, 3. And Tommaso has won. They are going to have another match at SummerSlam weekend. 99.9% sure. And at that point, I believe one of them is going to the main roster, or both of them. This is done at SummerSlam weekend, though. Done.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it might go to Survivor Series weekend.
I don't think it's going to go that far.
Because I feel like Ciampa will win SummerSlam weekend. And then there's a tiebreaker there. It's 2-2.
They're 1-1 right now.
2-2. 2-1 right now. Because you technically Gargano beat Ciampa once before.
If you count the Cruiserweight Classic, but we're not counting the Cruiserweight Classic.
I'm counting the Cruiserweight Classic,
No.
and I'm sure they're counting the Cruiserweight Classic.
I highly doubt that's on their mind. Highly.
Because if you want to get technical, it should be 3-0 Johnny Gargano, but mysteriously the ref appears after he tapped out.
Yeah, welcome to the world of WWE, kid.
Oh, I know. Little shitbags.
That was Takeover, but now going Money into the Bank, which started off hella slow.
Who? What show?
Money in the Bank.
That happened?
Hella slow. So slow. It opened up with Big Cass and Daniel Bryan, which I was kind of surprised. I thought Seth was going to open.
Yeah.
Because Seth kind of gets relegated to that spot now.
Yeah.
But it's DB, so I could see it. Also, side note, reason why I love Candice LeRae, as Johnny's walking out before that match, she walks over with the crutch, and she goes, whoop his ass. And I was just like, I love Candice. NXT Bay. Anyway. Also, the Bludgeon Brothers and the club, or the Good Brothers, were on the pre-show. They had a good match for the time that they were given. They actually had the Bludgeon Brothers look human. But, you know, they won in the end because they're the Bludgeon Brothers. With no Sanity debut, because I heard they were backstage, and that was a little bit upsetting.
Yeah, there was another debut that pissed me off.
Yeah, we'll get there. But Daniel Bryan and Big Cass, the whole story of this match was DB working the leg and the heel and softening it up. This, if you put aside the bad promos, this was actually a good match if it just stood alone. Not great by any means, but it was good.
And I'm glad DB went over.
I mean, I'm glad too, because this feud can end.
I hope it can end, because DB does not... This should not have been DB's first feud coming back. But he needed to win this because Cass doesn't need a win. Cass doesn't have a very lucrative contract coming up in September. And if you're going to put Big Cass over DB, that's just disrespect to DB. I think Cass is done at this point.
Cass needed the win way more than DB did. Nell agreed with me when we were watching this.
I feel like if DB didn't go over with Cass, DB was not resigning.
I still don't think he's resigning.
I'm leaning towards him resigning still, depending on how the next couple months play out.
I still don't see him resigning. I get it. As I told Nelson, I'm sure Cass walked backstage. Vince patted him on the back and goes, "You gonna break script again?" And Cass goes, "No, sir." Pretty sure that's how that went. Because if Cass did not attack that little person, I firmly believe he would have won here today. Because just getting swept twice in a row, that puts Cass down. Cass is not going to do anything for a while.
As well, he shouldn't. I personally don't see Cass being there much longer. I don't know why. Part of me is like, he's going to get released soon. After all the shit that's gone on. And I actually did read the article the other day about Enzo, how him and Enzo don't even talk anymore because of his whole ACL injury when they were in that match together. Enzo was pissed at him because he couldn't work through the injury.
It's an ACL.
Yeah, but we've seen other people work through ACLs.
Carson Wentz.
And score on that play.
But no, I don't mind Big Cass in the ring. I think he's alright. I don't blame him for his promos because obviously they are heavily scripted. Because it does not sound genuine. It doesn't sound real. And he said the same thing repeatedly for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
I like Big Cass in the ring. I think he should move on to other things. I just think throwing him in a feud with DB to start with was the wrong choice. And they just backed themselves into a corner.
But at least we got Miz versus Daniel Bryan coming up.
Well, that card has already changed 3 times.
And now it's changed back again. Which, I feel like they should save that for a bigger show than Extreme Rules.
Well, see, I initially thought, well, we'll get to it when we discuss this part later, but we'll talk about that after. The next match was Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Jesus Christ.
What is there to even say?
Not much. Bobby hit 3 vertical suplexes in a row and pinned Sami by putting his hand on his chest.
Does that mean Sami's got vertigo again?
I mean, probably.
We'll find out tonight.
It was a boring match. The crowd was not invested in it. Hopefully this feud can be done.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I do not want to see this go anymore.
No. Then we got Seth Rollins versus Elias for the Intercontinental Championship.
I was scared.
You were scared?
I was scared.
Too soon. They're not putting the belt on Elias now. This was a good match. It showed that Elias has improved a lot. But at the same time, Seth can get a good match out of just about anybody. It came to the end where it was a series of roll-ups. Elias rolled up Seth, and Seth rolled up Elias and held the tights for the 1, 2, 3. And commentary put it over as Seth having respect for Elias to have to resort to holding the tights, which is the strangest thing that I've ever heard in my life.
Fact.
Commentary was on one last night.
Yeah, I think there was, they drank the Flint, Michigan water again.
They're in Chicago.
They drank the Flint, Michigan water on the way to Chicago.
After that, we got the first Money in the Bank ladder match, which, to be entirely honest, I preferred. I preferred the women's Money in the Bank over the men's.
Yeah, I was confused with the ending.
With the ending of the women's?
Yeah, which I was okay with, though.
Let me break it down for you, sir. First off, these women put on one hell of a ladder match.
Yeah, I heard, because I missed the match, unfortunately.
This should have been the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but they did what they did. Ellsworth.
And 1 year later.
Ladder spots galore. Sasha took a backdrop onto the ladder from Ember Moon. Charlotte speared Ember Moon through a ladder. Lana took some ladder bumps. It was a lot of carnage, but it did start off with Becky Lynch clearing the ring, essentially. But a lot went on. Alexa did not come out selling that she was hurt, which I thought she was going to. But she didn't. Natalya wasn't bandaged up. Everybody looked healthy. After all of the ridiculous spots in this match, there was a point where, let me try to get these names right. There was Naomi, Becky, Alexa, Lana, and there was one other girl, because there was 2 ladders set up next to each other. And who was the last one? Natalia, probably. No. It was Sasha, because I was waiting for Natalia to come back. And 2 ladders set up next to each other, and there's 5 girls. Alexa's kind of like trying to go over somebody, pulling Lana down. Lana's pulling Alexa down, going back and forth. And there was a point that I noticed, because the smaller ladder gets taken down, the bigger ladder is positioned to the side of the briefcase. And I'm like, nobody's going to fix that ladder because you can't climb that. You can reach it, but you're going to have to like unhook it, and then you're going to fall, and you don't want to do that. You're going to have a bad time. And I don't remember which chick it was the first time. She was at the top of the ladder, like, reaching for the briefcase. She did grab it, and she did, like, just make it over, but she got taken down. Don't remember who it was. But at the end, it came down to Becky at the top of the ladder. Becky took her down, because Becky repositioned the ladder, because she's actually not stupid. She repositioned the ladder, and she got to the top. This was the one problem with the match I had. Either Becky went too soon or Alexa came too late. Because Becky actually had the clip unhooked and open. All she had to do was push the briefcase off the hook. And she would have won. But she did that thing where she grabbed it, unhooked it, and looked around. So either Becky was too early or Alexa was too late. Alexa finally came after like a couple awkward seconds, took Becky down, and then Alexa climbed it, unhooked it, and Alexa won the Money in the Bank. Which, I was telling Nelson when I was over there, that morning, there was a shift in betting odds in the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And Alexa went up.
See, the shift that I heard was Natty was still
favored, but she finally went negative.
Yeah, and she finally went negative and was favored negative.
Mm-hmm. But that was the shift I heard Saturday. Sunday, that they were saying that morning it switched.
Yeah, I watched it Sunday.
Yeah, I watched the video Saturday. And then I saw the Alexa one Sunday.
Huh.
But anyway, I preferred that Money in the Bank ladder match to the men's, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Then we have the match that we shit on the most. Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal with Sunil Singh.
So this is right about when I was able to chime into the Money in the Bank, because I was out. I got there and I heard the match in the background, and I'm like, all right, this match has already gone on way too long, and I've only been here for 5 minutes.
It went on almost 16 minutes.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Sunil Singh came out in a wheelchair selling his 1 spear and 1 Superman punch. His 1 spear and his 1 Superman punch. He's in a wheelchair with a sling.
Homeboy. Oh, I do have some... I forgot. I actually have some input on the Money in the Bank match from Shell.
Uh-huh.
1, the fuck Becky. 2, Alexa! And then I have more, but I'll get to those later.
Alright, I mean, my initial thought when I saw Alexa win, I was like, it works with her character. She is technically the only heel here. I can see it working. I'm not mad at it.
I'm pissed that they didn't have Ember Moon eclipse somebody off a ladder.
They're saving that for next year, Squidward.
I'm pissed. Like, that was perfect.
But, so back to this, the best spot of this match, Sunil Singh in the wheelchair, shoots to his feet and throws Roman into the post and then sits back down and pretends to be hurt. That was good. I liked that. But let's see. The chants during this match. Boring. CM Punk. This match sucks. Velveteen. Johnny Wrestling. Rusev Day. Beach Ball Mania. They started doing the wave. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
This match, I honestly, I thought this to myself, and then I saw a video this morning that said the same thing. If you watch this match with no audio, it could be a C-. But because of the fans, it just drops it to an F.
Hell no, I'm giving that a B+ because of the fans.
Oh my god.
Because it was funny, because we were sitting on the couch watching it, and Shell's mom goes, "Who the hell is Velveteen Dream?"
Disrespectful wench.
I'm like, he's in NXT, and he is gold.
Oh god, is she gonna watch this? I just called her a disrespectful wench.
I think we started swearing in the beginning, so she's probably gonna be like, "No, that's too much for me."
Disrespectful
Shut
wench!
up, sir!
We then got... Alright, I'm gonna have to rant about this booking. So, I'll let you talk about it, and then I'm just gonna go. Carmella versus Asuka for the Women's Championship. Go, sir, and then I'm gonna have a field day with this.
Oh my God! I am infuriated with that chinless fuckhead coming back, and they have Asuka pinned.
Fuckhead.
At least get her counted out. Something. Don't have Carmella pin her. Carmella's not worthy of pinning the Empress of Tomorrow. She's not even worthy of pinning Charlotte clean. She's barely worthy of pinning the iconic duo.
Don't disrespect my bae. Don't say, like...
I'm giving them respect. They're better than Carmella and deserve better.
You're giving them backhanded respect.
They deserve better.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. Because the chinless fuck is back. Causing a ruckus again. Ironically, where are we? 1 year later, where he handed Carmella a briefcase.
You good?
I'm calm now.
No, you're not. I know Shell has something to say. So please relay that message before I get into my rant here.
Honestly, she was just disappointed with every single match. And she said, I'm disappointed in the obvious choices for every single match, like I predicted based on the idea. Maybe they'd fucking surprise us. But nope. Obvious choices all around. And that's literally what basically happened. Except for the men's Money in the Bank.
I think the only two matches that didn't have obvious choices... No, honestly, there were three that didn't have obvious choices, in my opinion, because of the story they told. Men's Money in the Bank, Intercontinental title, WWE title. But I'll get to the other two, because why I don't think they're obvious.
I have a lot to say about the WWE title, too.
So, this match with Asuka and Carmella. First off, Carmella got in way more offense than she should have. People want to see Asuka destroy people in matches. Not squash them, but have, like, a good, solid 10-minute match. If it's, like, a triple threat or something, then you can actually see Asuka being beaten down. But she always rises to the odds. Now, I, for one, do think that Carmella should have a longer reign. I like Carmella. She has a solid character, and she's gotten better in the ring. I stand by that. Nelson agrees with me on that. Here is my problem with this match, because in the end, it looked like Asuka was about to win, and a figure wearing Asuka's clothing and mask stood on the apron. At that point, the crowd knew who it was.
And she looked scared.
She sat there gawking at it for a solid 30 seconds, at least. This makes Asuka look stupid. Carmella tries to roll up Asuka. Asuka kicks out, puts Carmella down again, and then looks back at the figure. For like another 30 seconds. Once again, looking stupid. The figure then takes off the mask to reveals James Ellsworth, and he gives the dumbest wink I've ever seen in my life. I think he's one of those guys that can't wink.
Yeah.
Because he did the whole kind of face thing.
He was like...
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Though when they played it in slow motion, it was hilarious. Carmella then hits her super kick on Asuka and pins Asuka. As I said before, I am for Carmella having a longer title reign. I like her. I like her character. I think she's improved in the ring. She should not have pinned Asuka. Not at all. I agree with you 100%. She should have beat Asuka by DQ. She should have beat Asuka by countout. There should have been something other than Carmella pinning Asuka. Charlotte making Asuka tap out, that was crazy enough, but the way they've built Charlotte, okay, you know what? I can kind of see that. I thought I saw why they did it.
Yeah.
Thought I saw why they did it.
Which I feel like, even in that match, like, I understand having her tap out, but they did nothing to work that knee in that match.
That's another, trust me, I already ranted about that.
Yeah, like...
But I thought I understood why they had Asuka tap out to Charlotte, because I thought they were building Charlotte to something bigger. Carmella cashes in Money in the Bank. Alright, you know what? That shit happens. Yeah. Carmella beats Charlotte clean. Question marks. All the question marks. Carmella then beats Asuka, pins her in the middle of the ring. Was it clean? No. But she pinned a woman who has only been pinned in this company one other time, and it was by a 6-time women's champion and possibly the best female wrestler on the roster in Charlotte Flair. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. You've lost my faith in the SmackDown's women's division. Good day, sir.
I said good day, sir! You lose!
We then... Alright, to change gears.
We have a lot to say about this one.
We then got, in my opinion, should have been the main event. In my opinion, match of the night. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in this last man standing match. This match started out very, very slow and built towards a crescendo towards the end. There's a lot of spots showing Shinsuke's striking ability, keeping AJ down, AJ showing his resiliency and his ability to play Shinsuke's games. Weapons got involved, tables got involved. There was a point where Shinsuke hit a Kinshasa running across the span of 3 tables onto AJ. Does that hurt AJ more? No. Did it look cool? Yeah. AJ rode off the table, made it to his feet at the count of 10. AJ hit a Styles Clash off the steps onto the floor. Shinsuke just makes it to his feet barely by the count of 10. AJ hits a phenomenal forearm from the rope to the outside, putting Shinsuke through the table. And AJ put Shinsuke away and retains the title. Now, you feel some type of way. I'll get my thoughts out on here first. This is why I said this match was one of the matches that could have gone either way. The way that they told this story, AJ only got up on Shinsuke once, if not twice. Since Mania. That's it. But having Shinsuke lose would mean to bury Shinsuke. So they booked themselves, in my opinion, into a corner where they had to pick one.
Or they could have picked neither. It should have been a no contest.
If they had another no contest, this would have been out the window at that point. This had to end here. It had to.
I would have rather seen this end at Extreme Rules. In something... like a Iron Man match.
I think...
An hour-long Iron Man match.
I thought that's what they should have did here. Because... They basically did a last man standing and both lost at a Backlash.
Yeah.
Basically. So when they announced... That's what I said. I said either an I Quit match or an Iron Man match. But what do I know? I'm just a fan.
Yeah.
But this was a good match. My opinion, best match on the card.
It was. Without a doubt.
Am I happy that AJ retained? Of course. I love AJ's title reign going on. Do I feel like it was at the expense of Shinsuke? Oh, yeah. Because now what's Shinsuke going to do? Are they going to have him have a U.S. title feud with Jeff Hardy?
Or are they going to keep going with this?
I don't think they're going to keep going.
This should have been the end.
I think this is over. Because this is Shinsuke's 4th in a row attempt to catch the title and lost. That's crazy in and of itself to me.
That's why he needed to go over here. He needed to go over. But no, now he's buried because Vince McMahon does not know how to run this company anymore.
Like I said, that's the story that they told because they only had one finish to a match. if you count the SmackDown match, where Shinsuke got the pick stipulation, they had 2 finishes to a match.
Yeah.
The first finish coming at, well, that was the second one. The first one coming at WrestleMania, where Shinsuke then turned heel afterwards. So, in a way, did AJ win? Yeah, but he got beat down at the end. Greatest Royal Rumble? AJ got the better of him. It was a double count out, but AJ beat the shit out of him and was left standing tall. Backlash? No contest. Everything else from Backlash to Money in the Bank was Shinsuke making fun of AJ. And making him look dumb, essentially. Which is why I say, they put themselves into that corner. They had to pick something. And that's what they went with. Do I feel, like I said, should Shinsuke have won? Probably. And am I mad that AJ won? No, keep this title reign going.
Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love AJ. AJ is the second best in-ring performer in WWE right now.
Oh my god, you are literally batshit crazy. Just because you have a hard-on for Seth.
Seth I'm sorry, but Seth is the best in-ring performer. But you also have to give age. For AJ's age, he is still phenomenal. Is he the best in the world? No. That goes to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the best in the world and the best there's ever been.
The best there has ever been.
The best there's ever been.
Alright, Meltzer.
I'm sorry, but Kenny Omega is... I don't... Personally, my personal opinion, Kenny Omega is the best there's ever been in the wrestling industry.
I'm not gonna play these games with you because I know how this goes. You just shout.
No, it's just my personal opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Not everyone.
Just about.
Not everyone. We then got Ronda Rousey facing Nia Jax.
This scared me. At this, how the WWE title match was before that, I was like, wow, they really are making that the main event. They really are making that the main event match.
They made Ronda and Nia the bathroom break match.
Yes.
Which I felt bad. But after this match...
Honestly, it wasn't that bad.
I'm sold on Ronda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sold.
Same.
Ronda sold great. And Ronda just looked great in general. The match came to a head where, not now, Nelson, we know this. I already seen it. The match came to a head where Ronda finally... she judo flipped Nia Jax. We're going to talk about that first, twice. But
yeah.
The match came to a head where the cameramen did a very good job at keeping this from us watching at home.
Yeah.
Ronda finally got the arm and was ready to extend it and put her in the armbar, and she gets hit from the back with a briefcase by Alexa Bliss. Ronda then wins by DQ, keeping her streak intact but not putting the title on her. And Alexa cashes in on Nia after taking out Ronda. This continues the feud she had with Nia at Mania. This also possibly sets up for an Alexa Rousey match. Alexa cashes in, wins the title. Alexa is now a 5-time women's champion. I'm not mad at it. Nia really hasn't done much with the title, though she hasn't given much of an opportunity, but a lot of her promos didn't really land.
No. But I still think it was too soon to take the title off Nia. Because I would have liked to see what Nia could do with it, but now I don't know what this is going to do at Extreme Rules. Like, obviously, Nia gets a rematch. Is it going to be just Nia versus Alexa again?
It's going to be Nia versus Alexa, and then I think Alexa's somehow going to retain and face Rousey at SummerSlam.
Rip. Rip.
Bye,
Alexa.
But was a good match, you know.
It was.
Ronda. Go Ronda. I'm sold on you now. We then got to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I felt was lackluster.
Very lackluster. There weren't too many spots.
There were some good spots. The spots they had were good.
Yeah, but there weren't too many. I feel like they could have had more.
It was a 20-minute match. It wasn't the longest on the card.
No, it should have been longer than... Roman and Jinder should have been 5, maybe 4 minutes.
I think I was telling Nelson, I was like, if they were smart, they would keep this to its 7-minute match. But whatever. The story was centered around them trying to take out Braun whenever he got up. KO was the spearhead on this, which I thought, because I thought The Miz was going to win. And I thought it was going to end up being KO and Braun in a match down the line, because KO spearheading this, which they can still do. It doesn't mean Braun can't fight with the briefcase. But every time Braun got up, KO spearheaded a assault to take him down. And then they got to this point where there was this really, really tall ladder. And they tried to set Braun up on the table and have KO jump. I was looking at it, I said, Nelson, he's not Jeff Hardy, he's going to die. Braun got up, scaled the ladder, and threw KO down the side onto a table. KO was out.
Rip.
Braun then powerbombed Kofi onto a ladder. Kofi came back, but Kofi was dead. And then, Braun just won. I was surprised.
I want to talk about earlier in the match. When they all were like, okay, we need to gang up on Braun. So they beat the crap out of him all the way up to the top of the ramp and then start piling ladders on top of him. But there's someone not there.
The Miz.
The Miz.
The Miz's gimmick this whole match was lying and waiting, and whenever nobody was paying attention, he would scale the ladder as quick as possible, but he'd always get caught.
Yes, and that was what cracked me up, because all you see out of the corner of the screen is Samoa Joe see it, and then he goes full sprint. Like Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt?
Usain Bolt, whatever. And I don't think I've ever seen Samoa Joe move that fast.
Yeah, I honestly thought, like, that's how The Miz was going to end up winning this match. Because I don't think there's ever been a Money in the Bank where somebody, like, just kind of scaled sneakily and got it.
No.
Would have been interesting, but alas.
Yeah, but just Braun winning it. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that they let Braun win it.
I was too.
Especially after giving him the Greatest Royal Rumble victory.
I was more surprised because I'm like, Braun doesn't need it. He's already a monster.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense to me.
Like, if anything, it should have went to Joe, Miz, Balor. I would have been okay with KO. I would have been okay with. I would have been okay with Kofi.
Any other person in that match,
but
could have worked with it.
See, I had a theory of this. If Kofi did win it, would they share the briefcase?
That's what me and Nell were talking about. They could share the briefcase, or Nell was saying Big E turns on them and steals the briefcase. Honestly, I was upset that it was Kofi too, kind of. Nothing against Kofi.
Yeah.
I love me some Kofi, but that was the obvious choice.
It was the obvious choice, and it should have been Big E or even Xavier.
Yeah, I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine with either or. But that was Money in the Bank weekend. Overall, it was a fun weekend. I enjoyed it.
I did too. Once again, obviously, Takeover was better than the main, but only because of the tag team match, Ricochet and Gargano and Ciampa.
You were just biased against Shayna Baszler. That match should be included because that was a very good match. You're biased. You're biased. I don't want to hear it.
It's true.
The main question now in my head: what or who is next for AJ Styles?
Samoa Joe.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
That should have been perfect right there. That should have been the main event. So that way Samoa Joe wins the Money in the Bank earlier in the night and then cashes in. And then sets up a triple threat match. Something.
I still would have liked The Miz to win, especially since Alexa already cashed in. Having 2 cash-ins in one night, I think that would have been a little bit too much.
Alexa shouldn't have cashed in. It shouldn't have been Alexa. It should have been Natty.
Should have been Natty, but that's how they saved it, so Ronda doesn't get the title and Ronda doesn't lose. Once again, they booked themselves into a corner.
They could have also had Nia Jax doing whatever she can and then getting either one DQ'd or getting herself counted out.
Yeah, they don't know what they want to do with Nia. 1 week she's a face, 1 week she's a heel.
Yeah.
Also, in regards to our predictions,
We're
Mr. Arcadia is still the predictions champion. Synyster and I over here tied.
Technically, I won, but I had to take a negative point on some shenanigans.
A negative point on some shenanigans. Nelson thinks the whole bonus point is stupid.
Of course he does, because he was gonna lose because of it if Joe won.
He said it before the match even happened when we were going over it. Like he said it long before that was even a thing.
Yeah, cause he knew he was gonna lose if Joe won with that
Before the
bonus point.
pay-per-view was even underway.
What do you mean?
We talked about that long before the pay-per-view was even getting into it. Because we were looking at our list.
Yeah.
And he said the bonus point was stupid after the first match. When I was the only one who took a hit at that point. So it wasn't just, if Joe wins, this bonus point is stupid. He said it long before.
Yeah, but he was saying the bonus point wasn't a thing, only for the cash-in. I'm like, no. If you predict the match perfectly, you get a bonus point for that. And he's like, no, that was never discussed. Yes, it was! Many times!
We've discussed it many times. I don't think we've discussed it with Nelson.
Yeah, but we've discussed it on the podcast.
No, you and I have. I don't think we've discussed that on the podcast or with Nelson. Because we've gone over that for so long, because we've been doing this for so long.
We have been doing this for a
I do
very
not
long
think
time.
we once said it with Nelson. Which is why I was like, okay, that's probably why he thinks he's stupid, because I don't think we've said this.
Yeah.
So, we'll hammer that out. Because we tied, some shenanigans, he says, that was part of one of your 2K losses.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So, to determine who gets second place and who has to take the punishment, Nelson has decided...
Which it's a punishment for both of us now.
Yeah. We are going to eat mango habanero peppers. And whoever backs out then has to immediately take the cinnamon challenge.
What is wrong with us here?
What I'm wondering is you're actually excited for the cinnamon challenge, which is weird.
I love cinnamon.
So why not just take it?
Because I'm getting second pick?
I'll give you second pick.
Okay, deal.
Like, I really don't give a shit. I just...
Don't want the habanero peppers.
I don't want the peppers, and I don't want the cinnamon... You like cinnamon, but it's not what you think.
Am I getting this a handshake? You're giving me second pick? I will take the L. I'll take the L and place third. I just want my second pick.
You can have the second pick. That's fine. I'm very comfortable in my situation of picking.
Okay. This is all okay. We'll have to let the egotistical king know. Because, yes, for all of you out there that are going to be listening to this, Nell is officially the egotistical king. He is King Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Eric feels some type of way.
And I will slay that king.
Settle
Just
down,
as
princess.
Tyrion killed him.
Settle down, princess. It is my job to take out Nelson. Because here's the thing. You guys have been dealing with, for some reason, a broken man in the past month.
Yes.
You haven't been dealing with this man.
I seen both men. I think Broken was better than this man that's here tonight.
Why? Because you couldn't beat Broken?
What? Listen. I will bitch slap you back to Africa.
That's racist. And it's on recording.
Well, fuck. But no, in all seriousness, I'm taking that motherfucker.
I'm not.
Shut up, Siri. Nell is gonna go down so hard.
Let me tell you, as you call him the egotistical king, I'm gonna say, there's only one king here. There's only one presence of royalty here.
And it's Synyster.
No, sir, that is my claim. That is me. So,
More like pheasant.
now that I'm back,
You're more of a pheasant. You're like
more
the
of a
court
peasant.
jester to the king. You're the
Coming
one that,
from the dude who's a turtle in the corner half the time.
Well, that was one time. Would you go back and listen to that too?
I listen to a lot of things because you guys can't seem to keep anything straight faced when somebody talks about, I don't know, the Spanish Armada. Didn't know I was part of the Spanish Armada. Learn something new every day. Didn't know I knew George Jefferson either.
See? See? And you're mad at me over cracking you with a frying pan?
Yes, I didn't need to know those things.
Why not?
Why would I?
Maybe you want to... Maybe that'll dig you to go research more into your family history.
No, it won't.
Why not?
Anyway, now that I'm back, things are going to happen a little bit differently. What do I mean by that? You'll just have to find out. Next time on the Phenomenal Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you on our weekly review.
Yeah.